my name is Courtney Lewis, and I'm applying for the Master of Arts in Teaching, Secondary Education with a focus in Social Studies. The reason that I'm interested in this program is because finding a good graduate program can seem daunting. When I Googled MAT programs, it returned hundreds of results, and it was really difficult to find what I think would be the best fit for me. But when I found the program at Kansas State, it instantly stood out to me. I found it extremely beneficial that you could choose your focus right from the beginning, as most schools did not offer that as an option. Also, when doing further research on Kansas State specifically, I found a website that said 98% of students recommend a degree program from Kansas State. Those reviews also mentioned family quite consistently, and I believe education to be a very personal experience, and having a strong and supportive community behind you makes all the difference. I do believe that this program will best prepare me for a future in teaching, and I would be able to graduate with a sense of confidence that I would be extremely prepared to take on the important role of teaching high school students. My experience with children differs quite drastically. I would say my most recent was when I was in the Florida National Guard and I was helping out with the delayed entry program. The typical age of our recruits was between 17 and 18, and they were typically in their juniors and senior year of high school. We spent Saturdays and Sundays instructing them on things that they would learn in basic combat training. We instructed them on things such as physical training, weapons knowledge, drill and ceremony, and basic Army regulations. It was such a rewarding experience when the soldiers would come back from basic training and tell us that everything that we had taught them had helped them succeed in basic training. And I think that was really what reinforced my decision to become a teacher. I also spent 3 years coaching gymnastics. I coached boys and girls from as young as 2 to as old as 18. And being able to see these children that you grow so close to and create such a bond with improve and complete skills that they've been working towards for months is such a great feeling. It's just as exciting for me as a coach to know that I was able to help them achieve their goals. I think I would be a successful teacher for a number of reasons. First, being my flexibility and my open-mindedness. The way that current and historical events are being perceived has drastically changed over the last few years, and it's important to consider that when teaching your students. It's also important to allow them to teach you. Being receptive to the needs of the children that you teach is vital for being a successful teacher. It's important to consider their feelings, especially in a subject like history where a lot of what students are learning can be quite emotional. I do also feel extremely lucky to have learned the history of the United States more in depth in the United Kingdom. I've experienced the history of the United States through a completely different perspective from not only my professors, but also my peers as well. I've also been fortunate enough to travel to 16 countries during my time in the United Kingdom, and I've experienced cultures drastically different from ours in America, and I'm so passionate about that and the value that it holds. I would love to utilize my firsthand experience in teaching history and instilling that love and passion into my students as well. Having the opportunity to mold young minds is not something I take lightly. The impact that teachers can have on students' life holds no bounds. I'm passionate, I'm caring, I'm empathetic, and I think it takes more than just passion about a subject to be a good teacher. It also takes being passionate about children and their well-being. Students deal with more than just what is happening within the four walls of our classrooms, and teachers must be able to recognize when somebody's needing extra help or maybe just some extra grace. I would be so grateful for the opportunity to take the next step in my career through the program at Kansas State University and be able to use things that are uniquely me to make the world a better place through teaching children.